Hai semua, selamat datang di program terbaru di YouTube aku, Our Leaders, Our Inspiration. Untuk episode pertama hari ini, aku lagi ada di Embassy of Ukraine, and here with me today is the Ambassador of Ukraine. Hi, Mr. Vasil.
Nice to see you.
How are you, sir?
As usual, struggling.
I hope you're gonna be well always, sir.
Ya, saya berharap juga.
Yes, let's hope we're all healthy.
Let's hope for all good.
Yes. Sir, may I ask how long have you been the Ambassador of Ukraine here in Indonesia, sir?
Actually, arrived in Jakarta exactly 1 year ago.
Oh.
Late October, so yeah, it's not a long time.
So this is your first time in Indonesia?
Absolutely, yeah.
Have
I've
you
never
heard?
been here before.
Have you heard about Indonesia before, sir?
Oh yeah, of course. We actually, if anybody mentioned Indonesia, I had some, impressions from the my school times, like Jawa, Sumatra. Of course, they were the famous, like Kalimantan. However, in Ukraine, I think more people know Borneo, not Kalimantan. Then Bali, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, some names I could remember. I'm quite old, right? So I could remember the names like Sukarno, Suharto, of course.
Oh yes.
From those times, of course.
Yes.
That's like we could read this in the media, whatever happened, and in old times. So yeah, and a couple of names maybe just I could come across during my Oriental studies, like General Sudirman, like Diponegoro, like this, yeah.
I don't even know that much, I think.
Oh no, that's not much. They're just names. But I was not digging too deep into Indonesian history before. Just a couple of years when I was doing my PhD in world history. It was about China, and of course it had some connection with the region. So yeah.
I see. What was your first impression of Indonesia and its people, sir, when you first got here?
First impression of Indonesia is warm.
Oh, warm, yes. Very warm.
I came in late October, as I say, and in Ukraine at that time was quite cold already, so I came here and it's like eternal summer.
Yes.
Eternal summer. So it's fair. And people in Indonesia, what is deepest impression, I would say, they are very open and smiling all the time. That's good, because I noticed, well, I've never been here, as I mentioned, but in Europe you could see sometimes in some countries that people smiling more often than, say, in Ukraine for some reason. But now it's getting better in Ukraine also. But here everybody is like cheerful and look very happy. Doesn't matter when, some people are more rich, some poorer, but they look happy.
Yes.
That's good. Very, very deep impression on that.
Yes, I'm really happy you have a good impression about the people here, sir. So, since a lot of my viewers are from the younger generation, I think that most of us really want to become an ambassador.
Well, good luck, but yeah, it's...
Do you mind sharing your story of maybe your life as a student until how you became an ambassador eventually?
Well, that will take hours to tell the stories about that.
Maybe a brief one.
What do you want to know exactly?
Were you a good student, maybe?
I was a good student, yes.
Oh, yes.
It's not very, maybe, well, I'm not being too modest to say so, but I was a good student, yeah.
I see.
Well, I had to be, because in those times I was like Soviet Union collapsed, like former country collapsed, and the situation was really bad and tough for everyone. So to survive, you have to be good. Otherwise, you will not be able to, even find food. So, yeah, tough stories. And when you find yourself like being a student running for meals every day, and you see today you have like say $100. Tomorrow it will become $10. And the day after tomorrow it's $1. So inflation was so huge. So there was funny times, because, well, you know what, a lot of memories. I stayed not even with my family. I stayed with my fellow students in the dormitory, far away from my family, from my parents actually. And every day something happened amazing. So we did have a lot of fun there, but it was very challenging times, very challenging. Like maybe there will be an answer to some people who think how Ukrainians could survive and stay strong when they have, blackouts, they've cut off electricity and water, and say, I stayed 5 years in the dormitory, right? And cut-offs of electricity was like on a daily basis. It's amazing. So no water, the usual thing. No hot water in winter. It's very common. So yeah, broken windows which never get repaired because there is no money, etc., etc. So yeah, we had a very. So I know how to live. I mean, I can feel comfortable in any conditions due to that time. But what is very important is, however poor you are, however complicated is your life, it's it's crucial to work hard.
Yes,
for your
I agree.
future. If you don't, there will be no bright future for you.
Yes, sir. I agree for that one. May I know, as a child, what was your dream? Maybe did you ever dream to become an ambassador?
Oh my God! When I was a child, it was a different country, and I had no chance whatsoever to become even a diplomat, because that was back in other countries. It was in Moscow, right? So, and I lived in Ukraine, and that was different. So. No chances. Well, the most I could get as a child from like a very common family in not the capital city even of Ukraine, I could become like a teacher or maybe a policeman, something like that, or I don't know who. It's that country was a disaster for the world and for the people. I mean, the Soviet Union. That was a disaster actually, because like kids were dreaming about strange things, and it was not practical. Like many of them wanted to become a astronaut, to go to the open space, but it was not realistic. It was like people were cultivating the dreams for kids, unrealistic dreams for them to to dreaming about something, to actually to distract the attention from reality, which was really bad. Yeah, so. I could not remember what I was dreaming about. I was just, trying to be good, trying to, do some sports, trying to communicate, trying to live, trying to be happy. That's what we were trying to do, be happy.
But I think that means from your story, it can inspire many young generation that nothing's impossible, because even though you had maybe a hard childhood, but then you can prove to everyone that finally you can become an ambassador. And I think that's such a great thing. Sir, may I ask about the condition in Ukraine at this moment?
Yeah, just following your previous question, yes. I had a very happy childhood actually.
Oh yeah?
Absolutely. It was a happy childhood because I was a kid. I was young and I had friends. I had time to play. I had time to for sports and everything. So I had a very, very happy childhood. We were talking about the dreams, right? About the dreams. But it's very it's very important. It's crucial to become. I think it's from my point of view, to become successful, to become someone in this life. It's very important to try to be happy, and work hard, and study hard. This is inevitable, because if you are not happy, if you are not satisfied with what you do, if you are not feel like satisfied with your job, with your studies, with your sports, with your whatever you do, they will never lead you to a good result, to serious achievements. That's it. Coming to the other, the situation in Ukraine now is really, really sad, and as you and the audience could imagine. I would never want anyone in this world to experience what Ukrainian citizens, children, women, elders, and just common people experience these times. When you have to spend long hours in the cell of a building, avoiding the bombardments, when you hear the these alarming sounds of missiles approaching to your building, when you know and think and you imagine how people, like fathers, brothers, and your relatives fight in the front line and die every day, it's very sad story. It's it's a tragedy. It's a global tragedy, and I really pray that no one in this world would ever have even the not knowledge, but even the in the imagination would never imagine that. That's a catastrophe for people's souls, for people's lives. So basically, what we have, daily bombardments, daily shellings of civilian infrastructure, thousands of schools and hospitals destroyed, hundreds of thousands of people dead, it's hard to imagine. My daughter has experienced that.
Oh yes,
unfortunately. So, but I just can read from the news, and it looks so remote, because when we were children, I was born like what 45. It's like 25 years after the end of the Second World War. So we have all the veterans, all the people who actually fought during this war. I had my grandfather and the second grandfather, and many people who physically, were in the war.
Yes.
Like my grannies were under occupation, my grandfather was fighting and all. So, and we permanently were listening to these stories, watching the films, people sharing the feelings and the experience on that. And we could think it's something terrible, unimaginable, and we would never dream, would never, even see in the dreams that we would have the same story there. And some people get absolutely lost because like old ladies who are like 90 years old, and they experienced the Second World War. They could remember the bombardments and the sound of the airplanes approaching, carrying bombs, and all that. And like my aunt, during all her life, she was afraid of the sound of aircraft approaching. Mm-hmm. All her life. Peaceful times, she said it's a civilian aircraft passing somewhere, flying, and she was like shrinking and trying to escape. And now they're absolutely lost because they see it now again. So yeah.
Yes. How about the education there, sir, for the students during this time?
You mean for the murid-murid atau
yes, for the
mahasiswa? For murid-murid, it's very tough, because as you can imagine, if like pupils, right? If kids are all gathered together in the school, and if it is hit by a missile, there will be like hundreds of casualties. So to avoid this, to prevent this, the absolute majority of Ukrainian kids are now studying in online regime, and only in the safe, like more or less safe places, like in the Western Ukraine, maybe far away from the front line. It's not safe because range of missiles are very, very long, but they can go to schools only under the conditions that the school has the basement, so they can escape if there is an attack.
Oh.
So within like 5 minutes they can go down and stay safe. So basically it's all online, and well, unfortunately we have, I can remember, it's like around 5 million of Ukrainians, or 10 million of Ukrainians over that became refugees abroad. So they either study online in Ukrainian school or study
abroad.
Yeah, study abroad. So the process is disrupted, and kids actually do not have direct and reliable access to the education. But we are doing all our best. I mean, the government.
Yes. Let's all send our prayers for Ukraine. Let's hope so that everyone there will be safe, and hopefully there will be peace soon there.
Kita berdoa bersama.
Yes, kita berdoa bersama. Mr. Ambassador, before we continue, I would like to compliment your batik today.
Oh,
Harni batik.
You speak Ukrainian?
Yes, a little bit.
Just a little bit, but harne is a very, very nice word in Ukrainian. Thank you. This is one of my favorites. I don't know which one to wear because I have such couple of, batiks coming from other different regions of Indonesia.
Oh.
But I love this because it's, first of all, it's from my friend, and it's batik Cirebon.
Batik Cirebon, you have great Indonesian, I heard.
Not belum.
Belum?
Saya masih belajar.
Wow.
But I love this because it's represents the water, the sea, as people told me dari bahasa Sunda.
Wow.
Ci means berarti air.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it would be like nice for today's interview.
Yes, you have great Indonesian, sir. And I think I also have a Ukrainian outfit prepared.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Where does it come from?
It's from my friend, my classmate.
Okay.
I have a classmate who's Ukrainian.
All right.
Yes, so I think I can try to use the outfit. So you can use Indonesian outfit and I'm going to use Ukrainian
That would be
outfit.
nice.
Yes.
Coba berpakai.
Yes, coba berpakai. Aku akan berpakai.
Ya.
Yes.
Betul.
Okay.
Saya tunggu sebentar.
Yes. Oke, terima kasih. Yeah.
Baju ini bagus.
Bagus?
Sekali. Warna juga.
Is it
Wow.
nice?
Yeah, very nice. Yes.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
It fits you perfectly.
Thank you, sir.
Cantik sekali.
Terima kasih. I really love this dress, sir. This is my first time using Ukrainian
Really?
clothes. Yes, this is my first time.
It's very traditional colors.
Oh,
Blue
really?
and yellow. Yes.
Oh,
national,
yes.
Like the Indonesia merah putih. We have
Yes.
hijau biru.
Yes, biru kuning.
Biru kuning.
Yes.
Hijau. Why hijau? Biru kuning.
Yes, biru kuning. I really want to visit Ukraine one day, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome. Welcome anytime, but not now. Please.
Yes.
Please don't go now. And after the war, I really hope that you can experience this country.
Yes, I love the country. If I do go there one day, are there any places you would like to recommend?
Oh, this is a very difficult question because when now I ask people what would you recommend in Indonesia, they will be puzzled because anywhere, literally any place, any island is unique. And Ukraine, despite its size, it's much smaller than Indonesia, but still it's very like a variety of cultures, of sceneries, of everything is huge. So I would suggest if you go to Ukraine, first go to the capital, of course, because this is like a cradle of Ukrainian culture and civilization.
Kyiv, I believe.
Sorry?
The capital,
Kyiv, yes,
Kyiv?
exactly, yes. And then definitely to the seashore. I hope by the time you will plan to visit Crimea, will come back to Ukraine. And Crimea is also a unique one, also very old and with like 2,000 years old of culture in there, more than that even.
That's
Then
interesting.
absolutely fantastic is the western part of Ukraine also, which has mountains, not like Gunungan, not as high as here in Indonesia, but very, very picturesque, indah sekali.
Yes.
So, and every place you can experience something unique. For example, like you go to Carpathian Mountains, there are like hundreds of natural sources of mineral water coming out of the minyak. Yeah, yeah. Just get a cup and drink, and it's interesting. Then you can experience also the traditions, the festivals, the weddings which we have in. By the way, I would suggest also think about visiting Ukraine perhaps in winter time, maybe for Christmas time. This will be like snow and fires and people going around and singing and dancing and all that. So because in Western Ukraine, as it was in Central too, the weddings normally they plan weddings for winter because
really?
summer in summer too busy. Farmers are always busy, but winter is like more or less they have time. So a lot of festivals and weddings and all take place in winter.
Is there a unique tradition in Ukraine, sir?
Oh, many.
Oh, many.
Of course. It's like, it's, you know, Ukraine is a very specific culture, I would say. Maybe, well, it's not unique in in general terms, right? But as Indonesian culture is influenced by Hinduism, by Islam, by Christianity, by by original religions like, you know, Dukun and all that.
Yes.
So it's all mixed. It's like a melting pot. So you have everything in there, and the influence of one culture, one religion, one tradition to the other is huge, right? So that's why Buddhism in Indonesia, Buddhism in India, and Buddhism in China are very different, and in Mongolia also, right? In Ukraine, we had the like very old traditions, even pre-Christian traditions of, you know, having festivals, or, you know, jumping over fire and looking for a flower of some you know, very rare flower. If you find the flower, you will become very rich. That sort of things. So we had a lot of such traditions, and they are different in different places. So the variety is huge. It's related to the weddings, to the when the children are born, when people are, you know, getting crops, after gathering crops, after, you know, after the spring comes. It's of course religious festivals and religious holidays. Like in Ukraine, for example, we have 2 Christmases.
Oh, really?
It's an old Christmas and new Christmas. So it's like, for the Orthodox people, it's 7th of January. For Catholics and Protestant, it's 25 of December. Yeah. So so you can see all sorts of things, and they are all different. By the way, I think that if you are interested in architecture, in you know, like city, all these buildings and construction, you should visit a couple of cities which are absolutely smashingly beautiful.
Oh.
Like Lviv, like Odessa, like Kamenets-Podilsky, etc., like Kiev.
Wow, I'm so glad I learned so much about Ukraine's culture. I did not expect to learn that much today, but I'm really happy, and I can't wait to go to Ukraine one day.
If you go, my feeling in di Indonesia, yang paling penting ada 3 things. Sholat, makan, berfoto.
Oh, yes.
All these
Number 3 is correct.
things you can find in Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a lot of extraordinary, beautiful sceneries and places, and it's a lot of places you can pray, whether you are the Muslim or Christian. And of course, Ukraine is the paradise for makan. Oh yeah.
What's the best food in Ukraine,
paradise.
sir? Your favorite food in Ukraine?
Everything is the best in Ukrainian food.
Really?
I love everything in Ukrainian food. Oh yeah. It's amazing.
Well,
sorry.
Now that we're talking about food,
Yeah.
I want to introduce some Indonesian food that maybe you can try. But we have to clear this table.
Yeah.
So let's clear this table. 1, 2, 3. Yay! So now we have food on the table. I see there
Well.
you have an Indonesian food in front of you. That is called ketoprak.
Ketoprak.
Ketoprak. Yes, ketoprak. And I also have Ukrainian food in front of me, which I've never tried before. What is this, sir?
It's borscht. It's absolutely fantastic. I would not call it soup, you know, because it's like a dish. It's soup and not soup. It's like a soul of Ukrainian food, maybe, because it has a lot of components in there inside, and it's been prepared in various manners, and recipes are limitless. My friend recently told me it's about like 300 recipes for the borscht, but there are basic things like beetroot, like tomato, like potato, and all that, and definitely is the sour cream.
I'm guessing this is spicy?
No.
Oh, it's not. Oh, I thought
it can be if you want, but normally, in my family, we use this red hot chili pepper, and we eat the borscht and then we bite the pepper like that, but not inside the borscht. No.
I see. And there's also bread, so I'm guessing I eat the two together.
Yes, you eat, well, in Ukraine, when we eat soups or borscht or things like that, we normally use bread. And actually, a lot of people eat bread with everything.
Yes.
Even with
here in
watermelons.
Indonesia too. Yes. So I think we should try the food.
Yeah,
Noodles?
okay, let's try.
Okay. Should we try at
One,
the same
two,
time?
three, start. We are not competing, right?
Oh,
we
yeah, we're not.
Who is the faster bit?
I'm guessing this is the egg.
This is very loud. You should mix
Do
it,
I
right?
just...
Yes, please, just
Okay.
just get one bite or something. It's very complicated to prepare, but while eating you feel free, whatever you feel.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take it like this.
Is that the first bite?
Wait. It's It's peanut paste.
There's
And
also tofu.
Tofu, yeah, and the egg.
What do you think about it, sir?
Nice.
Nice?
Not
I love this soup too. Mr. Ambassador, may I know, is this... what is this in the soup? Or in the dish?
It should be meat.
Oh, this is meat?
Ayam. Yep.
Oh, ayam.
Yep.
So chicken. Yes. Let me
It could be made of ayam, of sapi. Actually, what I really expected that I could find some spicy food in Indonesia,
Oh.
and I still could not.
You love spicy food,
Yeah.
Mr. Ambassador?
It's
And my
not
mom
enough spicy.
is from Manado,
yeah,
and Manadonese are known for their
famous for the spicy food.
spicy food. So maybe next time I can bring you spicy food.
Yes.
Yes.
Or recommend a maybe nice rumah makan
Yes, I will.
from Manado.
Yes, there are a lot here. Kerupuk is always great to eat with Indonesian food. So I think while we continue to eat,
Yeah.
yesterday, actually last night, I posted on my Instagram story asking if my followers wanted to ask you any questions, and I think we got some results.
After this, I'll follow you on Instagram because it's not easy to find someone in Instagram. They change names. I don't, but people change.
Okay, so this question is from Gerald. He said, bagaimana cara warga Ukraina di sana dapat bisa bertahan hidup di tengah konflik perang? Which means, how do the people there in
Yeah.
Ukraine
What are the ways of for the people of Ukraine, to stop the war or something like that?
how are they thriving to survive in the middle of the
In the middle of the war.
Yes.
People in Ukraine are actually doing what they should do. They remain strong. They not panic. They're not panicking. And what is very important then, that they became very organized and helping each other. That's something that will allow them to survive. Because immediately, in hours after the first bombardment, on 24th of February this year, immediately, like literally within hours, people created groups in WhatsApp, in Telegram, in everywhere, and started to communicate. If something happens to someone, he just writes to the group. For example, I have dogs and I don't have food for them, or cats. Then people say, I have the expired ayam, we cannot eat it, and we're about to do something with it. So go and pick up. Like that. People got ill. You write in a group, what do you have antibiotics? Because pharmacies like Apotek were closed and the deliveries were stopped. So people say, yes, we have something left, so give it to you. So people help each other. If even people calling from abroad, like, say, my parents stay in the village and they need urgently to deliver some medicines because they would literally die because of diabetes, they would take, every day. And someone jumps into the car and goes and deliver. Things like that. So people are living with the thought that enemy will be defeated, Ukraine will live, Ukraine will survive, and everything will be good eventually. So nobody is like panicking or feeling like, you know, like what is the word? Shivang. I just can't remember in Chinese. Like disappointed with everything, with government, with neighbors, like that. No disappointment, only belief and trust into our army, into our government, into our people.
It's nice to know that everyone there are helping each other.
Yeah.
And there's also another question that I saw earlier. What is the resemblance between Ukrainians and Indonesians? Are there any?
Merdeka atau mati. That's the one.
Yes.
And the second one, I can really use this for the rest of my life, is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. This slogan that is really needed in Ukraine. For we have a very diverse country with many religions, many languages, many ethnic groups. Not as diverse as here, but still very complicated and very used to be contradictory even like 200 years ago, even 100 years ago. But now we should be united, however we are different. Because if we are together, we are stronger. If we're together, we are peaceful, we are safe, we are strong. So maybe, well, these two is for a basic, and maybe the third one. Well, Ukrainians are fans of gastronomy. Like in Ukraine, makanan is very important part of our lives. So we cook a lot, we invite a lot guests, and we cook together, we eat together, and it can last forever, you know.
Yes.
So cooking and makan in Ukraine is very important.
Yes, definitely the same as Indonesians.
Yes.
Yes. So maybe before we continue, since on November 10 is our National Day of Heroism.
Hari Pahlawan.
Yes, Hari Pahlawan. Is there anything you would like to say to all the heroes, or maybe like what do you think about the heroes?
I will say this. Heroes never die.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it in Indonesia. Pahlawan tidak mati? No.
Tidak.
Yeah. But very important thing, heroes never die. And as far as we remember them, as far as we praise them, and as far as we could tell the other people about our heroes, they will live. And that's why it was a pleasant surprise that in Jakarta and well, maybe in other places too, but in Jakarta it's very obvious. I live in the Rasuna Said Street, Jalan Rasuna Said, and then you turn around, it's all the names of pahlawan.
Yes.
And I always listen to my navigator in the car and say, belok kanan ke Jalan Gatot Subroto. Belok kiri ke Jalan Jenderal Sudirman, and all that. So slowly, but I'm learning the names of Indonesian heroes, and it's amazing. And in Ukraine we have this tradition, because heroes are those people who fight for Ukrainian independence, or those people who protected the people when they have hard times, and those people who actually lead the country to development, to prosperity, and to to everything good. So in Ukraine we actually also have the commemoration days of Pahlawan. I think it's on it will be on late November, so it's very close.
Yes.
You know what, our national days, Hari Kemerdekaan, is just 1 week away from each other. 17th and 24th of August.
Oh.
So same Hari Pahlawan, very close. It's like a week's time. So we will celebrate.
Mr. Ambassador, for the closing, maybe we're going to end with a statement. So can you please teach me how to talk in Ukrainian?
What do you want to know?
Please end war, we want peace.
Before I teach you that, it's very important to know whom you address this. and this should be addressed to the aggressor. So, zupinit
vinu.
Zupinit vinu.
Zupinit vinu.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Okay, and maybe you can say it in Indonesian as well.
Berhenti perang.
Kami mau damai.
Kami mau damai.
Yes.
Kami mau damai.
So,
Мы хочемо миру.
Oh.
Мы
Me
хочемо миру.
meru.
Yes. Kami mau damai. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Is there any last words maybe you want to say?
I would like
the
to
young
say
generation?
actually, I think that it was one of my plans, one of my dreams to when I came here that we could cooperate with one of schools or universities and to open the Ukrainian language studies.
Oh.
That would be great because this is a very beautiful language and an old one. It's like it comes from the the written Ukrainian language was mentioned like in 10th century, so it's a long time ago. And what I would say to your audience, be happy, be clever, and be kind. Kindness is so important in this cruel world. Not every day we think about each other. When people come to a very complicated situations, it's terrible if they don't get help. Because it's not about money, it's about humanity. If people help people, even from the other side of the world, this will represent kindness inside themselves. And giving something to someone, helping someone, will bring it back to you, will bring kindness, happiness, and humanity to your hearts. So this is important. Be kind. And I mentioned this. I think that, well, it's natural feeling if children or just citizens, just people suffer from some disaster. It could be a war, it could be a flood, it could be a, I don't know, the earthquake, whatever. If you feel that people suffer somewhere, it's natural desire to help, to donate, to do something, practical. You can pray, you can send them words of condolences and sympathy. You can express your solidarity, and also you can help, like by sending them food, by sending them medical stuff, by sending them money to buy anything like so very much required. And this will mean charity. This will mean kindness and humanity.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. I think that's the end for our session.
Thank you.
This is such a
Matur
great...
nuwun.
Oh, matur nuwun. I'm really grateful and honored to be given this opportunity too, because this is my first interview among all the ambassadors in Indonesia.
All right.
So I would like to thank
be my
you
guest.
for that.
Welcome.
Yes.
Well, please be my guest anytime. I mean.
Oh yes.
You can. My daughter is still staying here in Jakarta for some time, so maybe you'll find go out for a coffee or something.
Yes, we sure will.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's all send our prayers and love to Ukraine. And I also want to thank you for trusting some Ukrainian students in our school, sir.
I'm grateful to your school. I'm grateful to the headmaster and to all the teachers that support Ukrainian students, Ukrainian people here. And it's an honor for us to be somehow related to your school.
Mm-hmm. But before I invite my Ukrainian classmate, there's also a link down below that you guys can check out. It's a link for charity to help the people there in Ukraine. So whether it's big or small, I'm sure it's going to be very helpful. So you guys can check the link down below. And now I'm going to invite, I think, your daughter first, sir.
Yeah, let's try.
Yes. So there's Barbara. Hi.
Guys.
Hi.
Halo semuanya.
Yes. And then I'm going to invite my classmates. So here we have David. David's he's from Ukraine. And lastly, there's also my classmate Charlotte.
Hi.
Hi.
Everyone.
Halo sahabat.
Yes, halo sahabat. So all four of us are gonna have a session together. So
Yeah, first, if you excuse me, I think I have something to do.
oh yes,
Urgently, yeah? If
yeah.
you- May I?
Yes, it's okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Everybody,
sir.
and have fun.